life? What if you get that dream car? What if every single thing you sacrifice pays off to exactly what you knew was going to happen? Because it will.
Everyone thinks you're crazy until it works.
To accomplish great things, we must not
only act,
but also
dream.
Not only plan, but also believe.
When you get stuck in the what if, interrupt it with this, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then go, what if it all works out?
How does it feel to be the champ?
Even when I didn't have the belt, I always thought I was the champ of the world.
When I had nothing, I already knew I was driving like Ferraris and Porsches and stuff because I always wanted those cars. I already knew I was going to have them. It was inevitable.
Which probably got you a lot of crap.
I did. People made fun of me.
I started to say, what if I can pull this off? It's the what if I can pull off a fucking miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be?
That most of the limitations we have do not exist in reality. They exist only in your own mind. And one of the starting points of great achievement is to start questioning those self-limiting beliefs and throw them off and act as if they did not exist. And when you act as if they did not exist, lo and behold, they simply disappear.
Belief is truly a magic word because it is the beginning of all successes. To be successful, you must become a person with a great capacity for belief. And the place to start believing is with yourself. You should begin by recognizing that you were born with the privilege of complete control over your own mind. You should also recognize that by the application of the master key to success, which I am passing on to you through these visits, you can take full possession of your mind and make it yield you whatever you demand in life.
What you do frequently becomes your frequency. If you want to know your life, look at your habits. That's what you frequently do, and they add up to a rhythm. That rhythm becomes a pattern, and that pattern becomes your character. That character becomes your life. You're not going to break out of it until you change who you are.
There is a reality that already exists for you, where you are an abundant person. You just have to become it.
If you think of the outcome as the trump card, then all of the pain and suffering that you lead up to that point, if you're just, I was gonna say balls deep certain that no matter what, you will die or you will get there, then the likelihood that all of the things that you've done up to that point will then be justified in retrospect is super high.
What if this turns out to be one of the hardest things I do, but the best decision I've ever made? What if placing a bet on myself was the moment my life changed?
See yourself as high as you can possibly see yourself. Who do you see yourself as? Clarify and define your vision for yourself in the highest possible way you can see it. That's your first job, to see it as high as you can see it. Be delusional, right at the apex of what your mind believes is possible. Then you push past that even a little bit and define it.
You know what's crazy? You know you could be the one if you really wanted to, right? You know that, right? But see, you keep playing the what if game. What if it don't work out this? What if it don't work out that? What if it do? What if it do work out? Then what? You gonna be happy, right? You can't say you want to win, but then you scared to lose. What kind of sense does that make? If you put your head down and lock in on the vision, how could you not win? Only thing that's gonna cause you to lose is your mentality. But that's between you and you, though.
You're actually not a procrastinator. You're not a worrier. You're just afraid.
Yeah.
And by staying in your mind, you think you're safe. And really what you're doing is you're holding yourself back from living the life that you're meant to live.
What one great thing would you dare to dream if you knew you could not fail?
First of all, if you catch yourself worrying, if you catch yourself out in the future catastrophizing, if you catch yourself in that, what if this, what if that? One of the best, most effective things you can insert as a different pattern is this. What if it all works out? What if it all works out? Because you can't argue with that. If you can stabilize your thoughts, your body settles down and it doesn't escalate.
You are what you think about. Everything that you think about, you become. Thoughts lead to actions. Actions lead to behaviors. Behaviors lead to lifestyle. And lifestyle determines your destiny. So everything begins in the mind. If you can control and wield your mind, you can very much determine your destiny.
We joined because we believed. Without a dream, we are nothing.
Think about it like this. How you think how you act, and how you feel is your personality. And your personality creates your personal reality. So in order for you to create the personal reality of abundance, you're going to have to change your personality.
We all start out with a false belief about ourselves, with some untrue thing that we believe walking through our lives. I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm gonna fail. Whatever your basic mistaken belief about yourself is, you form a personality around.
You're gonna have to start thinking differently, making a lot of different choices, and you're gonna have to change the way you feel. So our job then is to go from thinking to doing to being, to learning it with your head, applying it with your hands, knowing it by heart, believing, behaving, and becoming.
The optimal state when you're playing a game is somewhere between optimistic and delusionally optimistic.
My outlook on life has always been to have a positive outlook, borderline delusional. I could walk into a burning house and hear birds chirping.
If you want to attract what you want, you got to see yourself already with it. You become what you think about. You are what you think. The law of attraction says you can speak things into existence.
I thought every single one was gonna blow up. That's what was so ridiculous. I just thought it was so good that it's just gonna blow up. But it's like, that's the type of delusional confidence you need.
Think about it like this. How you think, how you act, and how you feel is your personality. And your personality creates your personal reality. So in order for you to create the personal reality of abundance, you're gonna have to change your personality.
We all start out with a false belief about ourselves, with some untrue thing that we believe walking through our lives. I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm gonna fail. Whatever your basic mistaken belief about yourself is, you form a personality around.
You're gonna have to start thinking differently, making a lot of different choices, and you're gonna have to change the way you feel. So our job then is to go from thinking to doing to being, to learning it with your head, applying it with your hands, knowing it by heart, believing, behaving, and becoming.
To manifest, you have to believe. You have to believe that you already have whatever it is that you want. And the reason you have to believe that you already have it is because the subconscious mind is only operating in the present. It can't reason, it's just like a program. So if you say, my new car is coming, I'm going to get a new car, it's coming, well then it's always going to be coming. You have to imagine that you already have it. And the moment that you believe, the manifestation is instantaneous.
Why be normal when you can be the best? I don't want to be normal. I want to make the difference. So everything I do, I want to make the difference. Because when I make the difference, I'm the best. And that is not arrogance, that is confidence.
Are you the best footballer in the world right now? I think so, yes. In my mind, I'm always the best. I don't care what the people are thinking, what they say. In my mind, not just this year, but always, I'm always the best.
You should only take advice from people whose dreams for your life are bigger than yours are.
Are you motivated to change the perception of yourself?
That's another root of human struggle, worrying about other people's perceptions about who you are. Like, why would you ever care about that?
The law of attraction is a powerful force, but it's also misunderstood. Some people think it's magic. They believe that if they just sit around and imagine what they want, it will fall into their lap. But that's not how it works. The law of attraction is not about wishful thinking. It's a process. It's a way of directing your mind, your energy, and your actions toward what you truly desire. And when you understand how to use it correctly, it changes everything.
If you'll say this before you go to sleep, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me tomorrow. And if you say when you get up in the morning, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today. And up all day long you will say, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me. You will find as you go to sleep, the next night, and try this today, if you will try it, you will find that when you go to sleep, you will not be able to think about all the wonderful things happening to you. You will be surprised that your life will be a series of really positive and happy experiences.
If I can build an image of something in my mind, I'm quite capable of building a physical replica of it in my world. So if I build an image of me as a happy, relaxed person, I can live like that. If I build an image of myself as being prosperous, I can become prosperous. We're already rich, just short of money.
They say I'm just talk, but here I am walking.
But the truth is, I'm really in pursuit of greatness. I know people don't usually talk like that, but I want to be one of the greats. I'm inspired by the greats. I'm inspired by the greats here tonight. I'm as inspired by Daniel Day-Lewis, Marlon Brando, and Viola Davis as I am by Michael Jordan and Michael Phelps, and I want to be up there.
And he told me if I didn't like the results I was getting in my life, that I was going to have to change me because they were my results. And he said, if you're going to change you, you're going to have to find out something about yourself.
You can have anything you want. Imagine you could have anything that you want, anything that you can hold in your mind on a continuing basis, you can have. Anything that you are crystal clear about wanting and are willing to pay the price to get, you can have. So clarity is the key. Be clear about what you want. Be clear about what you have to do to get it. Be clear about your vision. Be clear, speak, walk, talk, and act with clarity. And
if you don't have the mindset that you're the best ever, you've failed already.
Then what's stopping people?
Ignorance. All the problems in the world come from ignorance. That's the purpose of life, to overcome ignorance.
And the interesting thing that we've learned in behavioral psychology is this, that if you do not feel self-confident, courageous, consistent, like concentrating, clear, and so on, if you don't feel like it, and most of us start off not feeling like it, if you will act the part, if you will pretend as though you have the quality already, the feelings will generate the actions, and the actions will generate the feelings. That if you will act, walk, talk, and live by the same principles and do the same things that successful men and women do, even if you doubt yourself in the initial stages, eventually you will come to the point where you actually feel to the bottom of your soul like a successful, positive, confident, cheerful, optimistic, unstoppable human being. Just rewrite your goals every morning. Because every time you write your goals down, you're programming them into your subconscious mind. When you program them into your subconscious mind, you set up a field of vibration within your brain. And this law of attraction, based on this field of vibration, attracts into your life people and circumstances that harmonize with your dominant thoughts.
In every moment, there is the possibility of a better future. But you people won't believe it. And because you won't believe it, you won't do what is necessary to make it a reality.
It is this, is that your true beliefs are only and always expressed in your actions. It is not what you say or what you intend that tells what you believe, but only what you do. Your actions are always the true measure.
That's generally how we produce things in our reality. In fact, everything in this room was once a thought in someone's mind. There is nothing that was not once a thought in someone's mind somewhere. But if you want to really play tricks with the universe and create magic with the stuff of life itself, reverse the thought, word, deed paradigm. Turn it upside down and start with the deed. That is to say, act as if. If you want to experience abundance, be abundant and do as abundance does.
Act the part until you feel the part. Do what successful people do, and do it over and over again until it becomes ingrained as a habit. And then you'll wake up one morning and you will be the success that you dream of.
Focus on what you want, but don't try and tell the universe how it's going to happen. Don't tell them that I'm going to do this and this is going to happen. I go, no, you just focus on what you want. The intelligence of this supercomputer, it will handle it.
Everything you could ever ask for, you could ever have now or ever ask for in the future, you already have right now. You already have all of it. You simply are not experiencing it. Because everything that has ever happened is happening now, and ever will happen is happening right now. And so it is for you merely to reach into the sea of infinite possibilities and call forth the reality you choose now to experience. And you do this, you call forth from the sea of infinite possibilities the reality you choose to now experience through three devices mainly: thought, word, and action. Now, if what you say is, please give me what I need today to survive, you will have a struggle acquiring what you need today to survive, because the statement comes from a deep underlying thought that you do not now have that, or you wouldn't be asking for it.
But here's what you want to know. If you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hand, because that is the frequency. Match the frequency of the good you desire. The moment your belief matches with any state you fuse with it.
What if I told you your thoughts are designing your reality? Modern quantum physics tells us the observer affects the observed. You're not just in the universe, you are the universe observing itself. What you feel and believe becomes your world. Close your eyes. Imagine your desired reality. Feel it. Accept it as real now, not tomorrow, not someday, now. That's not delusion, it's creation. You're not here to observe reality. You're here to create it.
Science and psychology have isolated the one prime cause of success or failure in life, and it is the hidden self-image that every person has. Do you know it controls our life just as certain as our mind controls our heartbeat? Now, to remake that hidden self-image for success and fulfillment, to build a winner's image, is to remake our life. One of the great errors that almost everyone makes is they're attempting to change their income, they're attempting to change their position, they're attempting to change their business, they're attempting to change something outside of themselves without changing what's going on inside.
You're creative. If you can visualize it, you can do it. It doesn't matter what it is. That's what Hill said. Anything the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
That is to say, what you think produces energy in the universe that, if you think it often enough and long enough, will actually produce a physical result in your life.
Visualize. Now, what does visualize mean? Well, there are thousands of books written on visualization. One of the most powerful of all human abilities is the ability to create clear mental pictures. You see, your subconscious, which is where all of your programming takes place, is activated by mental pictures combined with emotion. So when you create clear mental pictures, when you begin to dwell on a clear mental picture of the person that you would like to be, you begin to close your eyes or think about the person that you would like to be, the subconscious cannot tell the difference between a real experience, one that is actually happening to you, and one that you vividly imagine on the screen of your mind.
That's paper. We call it money. Money is an idea. Money goes where it's invited, and it stays where it's welcome. You already have within all that's required to attract, literally. You already have within all that's required to attract whatever you want into your life.
The first million is hard, but the second million is inevitable. It's not becoming a millionaire that's important, it's the person that you must become in order to become a millionaire. Yeah, you have to become a completely different person. You have to develop character beyond 99% of the people in the world. You have to develop honesty and discipline and quality relationships and the willingness and the ability to work and set priorities and all kinds of stuff, because without that, nothing is possible. As Jim Rohn used to say, he said,
set a goal to become a millionaire. And he said, here's why. For what it will make of you to achieve it.
The universe will not give you what you want. It gives you what you are. If you emit a frequency of want, what you're telling the universe is that you lack something, and you're trying to chase it. If you have a clear intention and can see, smell, hear, and feel it as if it is happening now, you no longer need it. And that is when the universe will mirror your frequency. People often ask, how can I have a goal but also be content with everything I have? I ask them, when you put your destination into your GPS in the car, do you question whether you're going to get there? Or do you just accept that it's inevitable and only concentrate on the next turn? That is how manifestation works. Once you see it clearly and frequently, it's only a matter of when it will happen, not if it will happen.
The very fact you can see it is all the proof you need to know you could get it. What you have to do is raise your level of consciousness to that frequency. And then you will attract whatever's on that frequency. All the good you need to manifest the idea.
I'm sitting here holding the steering wheel, visualizing a brand new car and visualizing good things in times of struggle.
Delusion is only delusional when you don't accomplish the goal of making your delusions a reality.
Control your vibration. Control the flow. There's an energy flowing to and through you. And when it flows into your consciousness, it has no form. Our thinking gives it form.
The law of attraction is considered by many to be one of the most important laws of human existence. In this, if you change your thinking, you change your life.
So the question you have to ask yourself is, who am I? Where am I going? What do I want to accomplish?
I dreamt this so much, so clearly, so precisely, and so frequently that it has manifested itself into reality.
The greatest of all qualities to guarantee success is the absolute willingness to go at anything and refuse to stop until you achieve it. And you know something? The statistics show that 95% of the goals that you set for yourself, you will achieve if you refuse to quit. So the starting point is just to simply say, I am unstoppable. Say it. Say, I am unstoppable.
I am unstoppable. The imagination is the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful force that the world has ever known.
There are a million ways to die. Only two ways to live, rich or poor. And this is the only way that I know how to get rich. Don't get me wrong, I'm not apologizing for a damn thing. But when I look at my life, I don't see no other way.
You've got to assume that it's already happened. You've got a picture of it in your mind. Mentally, it's already happened. It's happened because I've got the idea in my conscious mind. If I didn't have the idea in my conscious mind, I couldn't talk to you about it. The very fact I can talk to you about it means that I've already got it. Then I've got to get emotionally involved in it. I'm already emotionally involved in the goal that I've got. I've got it intellectually, I've got it emotionally. It's only a period of time till it moves into form. How does it move into form? Well, you attract whatever's required for it to move into form. You attract all the energy that's necessary to produce the physical result. How do you do that? You do that by intellectually and emotionally staying in the vibration of the good that you desire. You see it already in the present tense.
Is whenever you think of something that you really desire, imagine that you have it already. Imagine that you have it already. Just imagine. Close your eyes, driving along, think about it if necessary, stand, relax, do whatever you want, but just imagine that you've already accomplished it and try to get the feeling. Get the feeling. As though it were already a success, as though it were a past tense, as though it were already accomplished, that you don't have to worry about it again. You've already got the feeling. And if you will play that feeling over and over again, this law of reversibility will create this feeling. As you dwell upon the feeling more and more, the feeling will actually begin to change things inside you and outside of you, draw you toward your goal and draw your goal toward you, and the objective will come into reality exactly at the right time and place.
Success is 5% strategy. It's 95% mindset.
Imagine what you will be, and it will be so.
Your thoughts are magnetic. What you feel, think, and believe
shapes reality.
I already felt like I had money back then, even though I didn't have money. I always felt like I was the champ, even though I wasn't the champ.
To paint a bright future for yourself, you have to be able to see it in your mind. You have to believe in it.
Your mind must create these things before anything else.
Like the mind is the most powerful thing in the world. In the world.
If I want to attract a lot of money, I got to see myself with a lot of money. I got to mentally accept I've already got it.
Science says, show me and I'll believe. Faith says, believe and I'll show you.
And I believe that you can speak things into existence. When you know where you're going and you know what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you.
If it is written, so shall it be. If you don't have what you want in life, just check yourself. Is it written anywhere? Have you wrote it down? Have you claimed? Have you laid it into faith? Have you willed it into existence? Has it become a law? Did you write it down? If it ain't written down, what you want? That is a principle of success that all successful people know. We write it down.
If you can see it here, you can hold it here.
If you can entertain the idea, you can cause it to move into form.
Confucius said one time, he who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right.
I have studied it every day for 55 years, and I think I'm just scratching the surface. Do yourself a favor and really begin to think.
Mark my words. Next year, a year from now today, I'm getting ready for my name to be called in New York at the draft to shake Adam Silver's hand.
No! The 16th pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Jared McCain from Duke University.
Your life is always moving in the direction of your dominant thoughts. What you think about most of the time is exactly what you are training your mind to create. If you focus on problems, you will attract more of them. If you focus on solutions, you will start seeing opportunities that were invisible before. Your mind doesn't care what you feed it. It simply accepts repetition as truth. And here's the key. The more often you think a thought, the easier it becomes to believe it.
Wow, so your brain doesn't really know the difference between, say that again?
Between something that happened in real life or something that you strongly visualize.
Wow, it's the same reason why when we watch a movie or something, we're able to get lost in it.
Yeah.
We're able to believe in it because wow, so you could create enough of a visualization for yourself if you really were to powerfully start to focus on it and do that and build that ability to visualize something that your brain at one point would have to think it's so true that the world would meet you and put it into your life.
I love the way you put that.
Wow.
You see, the most magnetic thing in this world is to rest fully in your own energy. When you stop trying to become and simply allow yourself to be, your frequency aligns with the universe itself. Because how you see yourself is how the universe experiences you.
You are creators.
Every human being is a creator.
As you think, so shall you be.
I believe we're creators, and I believe we create with every thought and every word.
How we really do paint our world with our thoughts and our level of self-belief.
You can almost create your entire world. Not almost, you actually can.
Yes.
You can.
But we can all do it, as we don't realize the power we have.
If you can see it, you can do it.
Own who you are, because then your creative abilities will come forth.
Because that's what we are. We are creators. We are manifestors.
What do you want to do in your life? Where do you want to go? What do you want to make happen? What do you want to make happen for between now and the end of the year? Think about it for a moment. Don't think of why you can't. Doesn't matter how much money you've got. Doesn't matter how much help you've got. Build a vision of what you would like to accomplish between now and the end of the year. And then make a written description of that vision. Paint the picture with words. You can go either way with this. You can start writing the picture and it'll come on the screen of your mind, or build a picture and then paint it with words. Vision. Vision is going to direct your life if you let it. Use it constructively. See what you want. Don't spend any time thinking of what you don't want. When you get a picture in here, make it big, make it beautiful. You'll be glad you did.
If you're worried about your income or your future, you're concentrating on the wrong end of the scale. Look at the other end. Concern yourself only with increasing your service, with becoming great where you are, and your income and your future will take care of themselves.
If your life is not what you want it to be, you can change it. As a matter of fact, you can do anything within reason that you desire to do if you embrace the principle of applied faith and keep it directed to the attainment of the things you want and off the things you do not want.
The words you speak are shaping the life you're living. Every time you describe yourself, your situation, or your future, your mind is listening. It takes your words as instructions and adjusts your focus, your confidence, and your decisions to match them. You see this in real life all the time. Two people face the same challenge. One says, "This always happens to me." The other says, "I'll find a way through this." One feels defeated before they start. The other looks for options. Same situation, very different outcome. Pay attention to what comes out of your mouth on a normal day. Not when you're motivated, when you're tired. That's when your real programming shows. Those casual comments, jokes, and complaints are the instructions your mind follows the most. So choose your words carefully. Your words don't stay words. They become thoughts. Those thoughts become actions, and those actions quietly turn into your reality.
And while this has long been known by the most successful people of the world, it seems to have escaped the great majority. The secret is to get and hold fast in your mind the mental image of the person you would most like to be. Then in every situation you act and talk as you feel that person would. You make the kind of decisions you think that person would. Day by day, you'll grow into the image you hold in your mind. If you doubt this, try it for 30 days and watch what happens. You've got nothing to lose. The time is going to pass anyway. Why not put it to work, becoming the person you most want to become?
Your ear is a womb, your tongue is a wand, and your heart is a magnet. The things you listen to on repeat get planted into your subconscious, and they grow, and eventually they're born into your reality, just like a womb. The words you speak aren't just sounds, they're spells, each one casting reality into form, just like a wand. And your emotions pulse out a frequency, attracting more of the same into your world, just like a magnet. You are a walking miracle machine. Every sense is a portal, every word a spell, every feeling a frequency. Use your power wisely. Click the link.
Is whenever you think of something that you really desire, imagine that you have it already. Imagine that you have it already. It sounds like a game, like children would play. But it is so powerful that it is awe-inspiring, and all I suggest you do is try it for a little while. Just imagine, close your eyes, driving along, think about it if necessary, stand, relax, do whatever you want, but just imagine that you've already accomplished it, and try to get the feeling. Get the feeling. As though it were already a success, as though it were a past tense, as though it were already accomplished, that you don't have to worry about it again, you've already got the feeling. And if you will play that feeling over and over again, this law of reversibility will create this feeling. As you dwell upon the feeling more and more, the feeling will actually begin to change things inside you and outside of you, and draw you toward your goal and draw your goal toward you, and the objective will come into reality exactly at the right time and place.
Your reality is built from what you take in every day, not what you think once. What you repeatedly see, hear, and allow around you. Your subconscious mind has no filter. It takes in whatever you expose it to. Then it uses that information to shape your thoughts.
And in order to manifest something, you have to be uncomfortable with your current position. There has to be something that is driving you to change, or driving you to manifest something that you don't currently have. You can't wish, because wishful thinking that doesn't relate to anything. You can't want something, because that's putting out the feeling of lack. And wanting means the universe is going to give you situations, events, conditions, circumstances, and people so that you're always wanting, never having. You have to need it. You have to need something. That is a burn. That need comes because of pain. And when you need something, you can't live in need, because then you'll never get it, because then the universe will always make sure you're feeling it need. But when you need something, that's when you can go and experience contrast. In other words, you know what you don't want, clearly, and it's giving you a burn, a feeling of pain. So now you need to change, you need something different. That's when you can clearly define what you do want, and then you focus on what you want. You see yourself in possession of it, and then you feel now as if you were actually in attainment of it. Then you release attachment to that outcome by saying, and it's okay if it never happens, while still maintaining that feeling as if you did actually have it. That's when the windows of heaven open and stuff starts coming in. You're broadcasting on a theta brainwave, if your hippocampus is big enough, and you've learned how to broadcast on theta, instead of broadcasting on the slave wave or the poverty wave of beta coming out of your brain.
Your lips are actually a magnet. Every word you speak pulls energy into your life. Every time you speak, you're sending out a frequency and pulling matching experiences back to you. Speak fear, and fear finds you. Speak love, and love moves closer. Your words are magnets, shaping your world. Most people don't realize they're attracting their struggles with their own voice. Every complaint, every doubt, every careless word strengthens the wrong reality. But when you speak with power, when you speak as if what you desire is already yours, you magnetize it into your life. Guard your lips. Speak only the words you want to live, because what you say, you summon. Remember, your lips are actually a magnet. Use them wisely and watch your world transform.
Wealthy people broadcast what they want, their desires in life, their goals, on the wealth wave, on the billionaire brainwave. If you do that, that's the secret to manifesting.
Nothing in your life can permanently change until you change the way you see yourself. You can't consistently act in a way that's out of alignment with your self-image. That's why real change never starts with effort. It starts with identity. If you see yourself as someone who struggles, you'll find proof of that everywhere. If you see yourself as someone capable and confident, you'll naturally behave in ways that confirm it. Your subconscious mind always works to make your reality match your self-concept. It listens not to what you say, but to what you believe about yourself when you're quiet. That's why lasting transformation doesn't come from forcing new habits. It comes from deciding, this is who I am now. When you choose a new identity, your behavior follows. Opportunities appear. People treat you differently, and success starts to feel normal. Because the world doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to who you've decided to become.
The only thing you need to know to understand the deepest metaphysical secrets is this: that for every outside there is an inside, and for every inside there is an outside. And although they are different, they go together.
You can only attract according to the frequency that you're operating on. Attraction is a secondary law. The primary law is the law of vibration. That's a primary law of the universe. The law of vibration decrees everything moves, nothing rests. Well, when you think, you put you onto a frequency. You can only attract what's on that frequency. You think about a person a lot, just concentrate on that person will phone you, or you'll bump into them on the street. The law of attraction takes over. You can attract to you what you're in harmony with. But when you set goals, you got to see yourself already there. That's called a mindset. They set their mind on the frequency that they have to be in to attract what they have to attract. And that's how the goal moves into form. The only problem is you don't have it on a physical plane yet, but it will manifest in time.
The perfect man employs his mind as a mirror. It grasps nothing, it refuses nothing. It receives but does not keep. And another poem says of wild geese flying over a lake. The wild geese do not intend to cast their reflection, and the water has no mind to retain their image. But to have no hang-up, that is to say, to be able to drift like a cloud and flow like water, seeing that all life is a magnificent illusion, a playing of energy, and there is absolutely nothing fundamentally to be afraid of.
Every morning when you wake up, visualize and feel exactly what it is that you want in life. You don't have to worry about how it happens. You just have to focus all of your energy on feeling as if it already happened. And if you can do that, then the right circumstances, the right people, the right opportunities will show up to get you the vision that you have for your life. Because in truth, it really isn't the universe. It is you in verse. In other words, it's everything that you think and feel inside of yourself about life is what you are calling in to your reality. You're the one creating your reality.
You know why most people never manifest what they want? Because they're waiting, as if the universe owes them something just for wanting it. But the universe doesn't respond to waiting. It responds to movement. You see, manifestation is a dance. And it takes two to tango. The moment you begin, the universe begins with you. Not before. You are the catalyst, the initiator, the one who must step into the unknown first. No one is coming to save you, because you were never meant to be saved. You were meant to awaken. So make the move, and watch how reality bends to meet your stride.
The universe only gives us what we think we're worthy of receiving. So then people who show up for themselves every day, they start feeling pretty damn worthy. Like, they're like, I'm worthy for this. Not like an entitlement way, like something, they just like, I feel like it's going to happen. I'm worthy for it.
You're not ready for what you want until you believe you can get it. All things are possible if you believe.
And you get it when you believe it. You get it when you believe you have it. And that's the key. It's like people still, they sit around going, when's it going to come? 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 And that's the wrong way. You have to go, it's here, it's here.
Before you go to sleep every night, visualize yourself being, doing, and having the good which you desire. And whatever idea you lift up before you go to sleep, that idea is impressed upon the subconscious and it draws that to you. You'll wake up in the morning and the right ideas will just be clicking in your head. You'll meet the right people for the right purposes at the right time. You'll meet strangers, but they'll be right for your right purpose. People will do things for you and they won't even know why. Always visualize just before going to sleep. That's the one most important time, if there is a one most important time.
Every time you say, I am not, I cannot, I have not, you are, whether knowingly or unknowingly, throttling that great presence within you. Every single time that you use the words, I am, you are citing the name of God. You must be conscious of how you use these words. I am strong. I am well. I am content. Putting the words I am in front of something into your mind and imagination is a very powerful way to attract into your life.
Well, gratitude is one of the most strongest forms of power in attracting good things. You know, if you truly feel grateful for the things in your life, I always felt grateful for even the small things. I always used to celebrate the small things. Now I might be celebrating the bigger things, but I always celebrate every little good thing that would happen to me in my life, even before I had any kind of money or any of that. I would celebrate and I would feel grateful for it, and it just gave me more.
The law of attraction says this. It says that whatever you think about, focus on, fantasize about, worry about, talk about, attend to, watch on TV, listen to on the radio, you're going to create more of in your life, especially those things you feel intense feelings about. So when you're talking about how bad it is and you're not feeling good about it and you're really upset about it and you're down in the bar, talking about how terrible life is, what I call the Ain't It Awful Club. People go there after work to the Ain't It Awful Club and complain about how miserable their life is. And when you do that, what happens is you actually create more of that because you're sending out a vibration. And that vibration is your thoughts and your feelings that are the result of those thoughts. And so we have to become conscious of our thoughts. We have to become conscious of our feelings. We have to become deliberate thinkers, deliberate creators.
Your energy teaches the world how to treat you. If you carry doubt, you'll attract people who make you question yourself. If you walk in confidence, you'll attract people who respect you without reason. Life mirrors the signal you send. It doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you truly believe you deserve. That's why change never starts outside of you. It begins with a quiet decision to raise your standard for what you'll accept. The moment you decide you're done chasing, life starts meeting you halfway. The moment you decide you're worthy, everything around you begins to shift. Because you never get what you're asking for. You get what you're ready for.
God is showing you a preview of a coming attraction He has for you. And He puts it in your imagination. The problem with your imagination, though, is you tell it to the wrong people. That's the whole problem. See, if you want to kill a big dream, tell it to a small-minded person. How many times has God showed you something so vividly clear that you just knew it was perfect? You shared it with your loved ones and your friends and they shot it down. You know why they shot it down? Because they couldn't see it. You know why they couldn't see it? Because God didn't show it to them. He showed it to you.
Here's something most people never realize. Your life is always moving in the direction of your dominant thoughts. What you think about most of the time is exactly what you're training your mind to create. If you focus on problems, you'll attract more of them. If you focus on solutions, you'll start seeing opportunities that were invisible before. Your mind doesn't care what you feed it. It simply accepts repetition as truth. And here's the key. The more often you think a thought, the easier it becomes to believe it. Your brain starts wiring new patterns, and soon those thoughts don't feel like effort. They feel like identity. That's how change truly sticks. That's why successful people are deliberate about what they think. They build mental pictures of success. They speak about their goals, and they act as if those results are already on their way. It's not magic, it's focus. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all aligned with one clear vision, your behavior becomes automatic. You stop chasing success and start moving in sync with it.
I like myself. I like myself. I like myself. The more you say, I like myself, I like myself, I like myself, the more you repeat that over and over again, the more your self-esteem goes up. The more your self-esteem goes up, the more your overall self-concept goes up. When your overall self-concept goes up, you perform better at everything else that you attempt. But every single time you say, I like myself, 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 it's like pumping yourself up psychologically. Everything that happens that causes your self-esteem to go up causes you to perform better. Everything that happens that causes your self-esteem to go down causes you to perform worse, make more mistakes, be unhappier, and so on. A critical point about liking yourself, about self-esteem and self-liking, is that number one is you can never like or love anybody else more than you like or love yourself. That your level of self-esteem is the determinant of the quality of the relationships you have with others. And number two is you can never expect anybody else to like or respect you more than you like or respect yourself. That how much you like and respect yourself determines their attitudes toward you. Every single school of psychology today is coming to agreement on the fact that how much you genuinely like and accept yourself as a valuable and worthwhile human being has an effect on everything that happens to you. Everything that happens in your life is a reflection of what's happening inside you. The people you meet, the opportunities you get, even the problems you face are mirrors showing you what you believe. If you think you're unlucky, you'll keep finding proof that you are. If you think you're chosen, life will start treating you that way. Your outer world doesn't argue with you. It simply agrees with your inner story. So if you want to change your reality, don't fight the world out there. Rewrite the one in here. Think better thoughts, feel better feelings, and hold them like you already lived that life. Because the moment you stop trying to force change and instead become the person who already has it, the world quietly shifts to match you.
If you decide that you will be poor, there's nothing I can do. You're gonna be poor. If you decide to be rich today, who's gonna stop you? Who?
You're creative. If you can visualize it, you can do it. It doesn't matter what it is. That's what Hill said. Anything the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
And I can describe it to you in one short sentence so you can understand it.
Think and grow rich. Think and grow rich.
If you decide you want to be rich, all you gotta do is start.
We can grow into anything we choose because we build the idea. It becomes the nucleus. It controls our vibration, and that dictates what we attract to us.
You gotta create dream boards. You gotta put the new car up on your mirror. Put the weight you want to be on the refrigerator. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. That's the law of attraction. That's what you bring to you.
Your mental attitude is important because it acts as a magnet which attracts to you everything, every circumstance which makes you what you are and where you are.
Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. Success is looking for a good place to stay. So instead of going after it, you work on yourself. Personal development. See, the major question to ask on the job is not what are you getting? The major question to ask on the job is what are you becoming?
What you think and what you believe is what will come true for you. Your thoughts create your life. It's that simple. And when we can get that, we can make enormous changes.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
foundation of this is anything the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve.
But whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve, regardless of how many times you may have failed in the past or how lofty your aims and hopes may be.
Whatever you send into the universe sends right back at you. And when it's coming back, that's your law of attraction.
The difference between successful people and non-successful people is here. If you want to be successful, you have to change this. What makes it hard is your lack of belief that it can happen for you. The fact of it is, though, it's very doable. This decision is yours and yours alone.
Do the thing, and you'll get the energy to do the thing. Just say, I'm going after it, I'm going to get it, and your present circumstances got nothing to do with where you're going.
See, the big question is not what am I getting paid here? The big question is what am I becoming here? Because true happiness is not contained in what you get. Happiness is contained in what you become.
Get locked into your idea and stay in that vibration regardless of what's happening. When you do that, it will attract to you all things requisite to the fulfillment of that picture, and it'll attract it by the harmonious vibration, the law of attraction.
If you wish to keep on the beam that leads to success, be sure that you give Cosmic Habit Force a thought pattern based on the things you want most in life, and it will do the rest.
What we give out, we get back. And what we believe about ourselves becomes true for us. Our thinking creates our experiences. There is a law of thinking like everything else, like all of nature. There is a universal energy or law of mind or subconscious mind, whatever you want to call it. But to me, it means the power that is within me and around me transforms my thoughts into experiences. Every thought we think and every word we speak is creating our experiences. And it's almost as though every time you think a thought or you speak a word, that universal intelligence or energy is listening or responding to what you are thinking or believing or saying. Whatever we choose to believe becomes true for us.
I ask not for more riches, but more wisdom with which to make wiser use of the riches you gave me at birth, consisting in the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever ends I desire.
$1 million isn't cool. You know what's cool?
$1 billion. That clip we played there, what was it, that 2013?
I said to my dad when I said, listen, by the time I'm 25 years old, I'm going to be a self-made millionaire. And he laughed at me. There's no one laughing at me now. I said it onwards.
See this? This is energy too. If you get on the frequency this is on, you can't stop it coming.
Success is not something you chase. It's something you attract by the person you become. So act as if. It's not pretending, it's preparing.
We cannot attract anything in our life we feel separate from. We always desire things, we always want things, but when we're in the creative process, we cannot create from the lack of not having it. We have to create from the feeling of having it. The person now who's in that state where they're feeling like the event has already happened, they no longer want it. Because they're feeling the emotion of it. You only look for it when you experience lack. If you feel like it's already happened, you're no longer separate from it. And so feeling that emotion somehow starts to draw things to us, and now we're not having to do anything. The things are starting to come to us. That's the synchronicities, that's the coincidences, that's the opportunities. We're not doing anything, they're coming to us.
When you know what you want and you make a committed decision, you are on an exciting trip. See, when you see yourself as what you want, you put your mind on the frequency that it has to be on, and you're going to attract everything you need, and you'll get it right on schedule. Not when you want it, probably. You'll get it as you need it. Do you know the only prerequisite to getting what you want? Is you gotta want it.
Okay, let me show you this that I had in mind. Albert Einstein said that imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attraction. That's what your imagination is. Your imagination is actually very, very real. Everything you've ever imagined is real. See, I tell young people like this. First of all, this is how your imagination works. You got to grab this concept. It is impossible for you to think an impossible thought. That
is impossible. You can't think something that ain't possible. You ain't that smart. And so if it's in your head, you gotta ask yourself, how did it get there? That's God showing you a preview of a coming attraction he has for you. The problem with most people is you think your imagination is hocus pocus. It's really not. It's a preview of a coming attraction. If you react to your imagination, that's where your real life is.
If you will say before you go to sleep, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me tomorrow. And if you'll say when you get up in the morning, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today. And if all day long you say, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me, you'll find that as you go to sleep the next night, and try this today, it's a very powerful exercise. It sounds a little bit corny, but it's a very powerful exercise. If you'll try it, you'll find that when you go to sleep, you will not be able to think of all the wonderful things that happen to you. You'll just be surprised that your parking spaces will open up and friends will call and you'll get checks in the mail. Just your life will be a series of really positive, happy experiences. So always expect the best. I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today, and by the inexorability of a law of nature, it's going to happen to you. I can assure you it's happened to thousands and thousands and thousands of our graduates who will literally astonish you the effect of this corny little exercise.
Now, science says, show me and I'll believe. Faith says, believe and I'll show you.
Be very clear on what it is that you want. Spend 5 minutes sitting down and visualizing those things being true, and then give gratitude for that. Like, see it, feel it in your body, taste it in your mouth, hear it in your ears. Completely immerse yourself in that for 5 minutes, longer if you can. And then just be so grateful for all of that. Essentially what you're doing is moving your brain from a fear state to a trust state, and that is the gateway to making these changes.
What you hold in your mind on a consistent basis is exactly what you will experience in your life. Think abundance, feel it, and the universe will mirror it back to you. When your desire is strong enough, you will find the way. Hold the image of your goal with unwavering faith, and the world will bend to meet your vision.
If you have a clear picture in your head of something is going to happen, and a clear belief in that it will happen no matter what, then nothing can stop it. You know what I mean? It is destined to happen.
Like attracts like. You have to understand, you are a magnet. Whatever you are, that's what you draw to you. If you're negative, you're going to draw negativity. You're positive, you draw positive. You're a kind person, more people are kind to you. So you're like a magnet. You know, if you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same, as we are liberated from our own fear.
Seize the day, boys. Make your lives extraordinary.
When you stop thinking, there's a wonderful thing that happens in the brain when we become nobody, no one, no thing, nowhere, no time. That's the moment where we shut the mechanism down of thinking, and by focusing on nothing, on space, there is a recalibration of the nervous system back to more order, back to more wholeness, back to more oneness. And the closer you get to singularity, to source, to oneness, to wholeness, to absolute, whatever you want to call that, and you're creating from the field instead of from matter, every thought in the quantum produces a frequency. So the thought of your wealth in the quantum should produce the frequency or the feeling of abundance. And if you can experience the feeling of that ahead of the actual event, you're beginning to change information in the field. Keep doing that. Thought objectifies and conditions reality. So you create a thought form, and in time, all of a sudden, you start having these synchronicities and these outcomes in your life.
Gosh, it's so sad when somebody's in the right country and they got the wrong philosophy. Let me give you some examples on philosophy that can get you from $5 an hour to $6 an hour. Here's number one. Wait for the government to change the minimum wage. If you wait long enough, sure enough, the government will change the minimum wage, let's say, to $6 now. You say yes, but how long will it take? Answer, I'm sure much longer than you want to wait. Here's number 2. Wait for the company to pay you $6 an hour. How often is the review? 6 months, 1 year, let's say you don't make it. Second year, say, well, that's a long time to go from 5 to 6. It is a long time. Here's the third philosophy. We call it the philosophy of demand. Using the philosophy of demand, you cannot get rich. I demand $6 or I won't work. Now, if you're by yourself, this is a risky philosophy. If you've got 1,000 people now to take with you to the company and say, all 1,000 of us will not work unless we get $6, now you might have a chance. The philosophy of demand only works by collective bargaining. So you can't get rich by demand. Here it is, the philosophy of performance. I will perform so well that the company would easily be justified in paying me $6. These are philosophies to follow. Your income is determined primarily by your philosophy.
You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. There are things that you're going to be able to do that eye has not seen, ear has not heard. There are things that you have in you that you don't even know, but until you get outside of your comfort zone, you will never discover it. You have something special. You have greatness within you. But in order to manifest your greatness, you've got to put yourself in a perpetual state of discomfort. Yes, you've got to challenge yourself. You've got to raise the bar on yourself. You've got to get busy. You've got to work your plan. Even if you've got a job right now, you've got to work yourself out of it. You've got to have an exit date where you say, hey, I've had it. It's time for me to do me, to pursue my dream, to work my plan, to implement the things that I want for myself and for my family and for my kids. And what is your legacy? What do you want to do for yourself?
You can have, do, or be anything you want if you controlled your mind. The law of attraction is basically saying whatever you focus on with energy and repetition is what you're going to tend to bring into your life. Most people don't realize that their thoughts are in the toilet. There are things like, I'm not good enough, it's not going to work out. All of these kinds of negative thoughts keep people shut down. They don't go for their dreams. What the law of attraction is teaching people is that you have a choice. You can change your thinking. Start to generate what you do want to think. And this is where things like affirmations, positive thinking, positive statements, instead of saying I'm not good enough, begin to say I am good enough. A reticular activating system in the brain responds to repetition, imagery, and emotion. Aim where you want to go by choosing what you want, getting an image of what you want, fueling it with passion and love. Then you can start to create it almost organically and automatically.
How do you connect these? If you can see it here and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. So a lot of times people believe in certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. If you truly believe in it, if you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction and it will become reality.
If you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand.
The thoughts we think and the words we speak are constantly creating our future. Our beliefs shape our life.
Ask, believe, receive.
Success begins in the mind. Whatever you can clearly imagine, ardently desire, and firmly believe, you can bring into your reality.
Have you ever asked yourself what differentiates the winners from the masses? Well, I have. I've researched the subject now for over a quarter of a century, and I have found that the winners are aware of a certain place within. It's referred to as the higher self. And in this higher self, there's an image of perfection, which is forever attempting to express itself in a greater way. When the winner wants to turn their dreams into physical realities, they call on this higher self. And they set about and change the world, not just for themselves, but for everyone in it.
It's a choice. It's a matter of the heart. That your mindset could change your whole atmosphere. That you can turn your mess into a message and your test into a testimony.
Any thought, plan, goal, or idea that you hold continuously in your conscious mind and that you intensely desire must be brought into reality by your superconscious mind. If you can hold it continuously, if you can emotionalize it, if you can visualize it, in your conscious mind, the superconscious mind will begin to organize the entire universe of experience around you to draw into your life the people and circumstances necessary to make that idea come true.
Write everything you imagine down. Write it all down. Pray about it and watch what happens. You got to start believing in your imagination. But you have not because you ask not. So if you see the vision, but you don't ask God for it, what you want him to do? He showed it to you. Faith without works is dead. So now you got to put in work.
It's a law of the universe called the law of abundance, the law of attraction. You can have anything you want once you know what it is. One of the main lessons you come to Earth to learn is how to manipulate energy. Everything is energy. And you come to Earth to learn how to manipulate that, to be a master manifester. First, you have to know what you want. And a lot of people say, well, I need this, I want this. Those are the wrong words. In creating your reality, if you say, I need, I want, well, see, you're creating a lack. And you're putting it off by, I want it. No, the wording is, I have it. And you got to believe it. Because if you can see it in your mind as already done, already happened, it must occur. That's a law of the universe.
Do you know you can use your imagination to go into the future and bring it into the present? That's what all highly successful people do. They see where they want to go, and then they act like the person they want to become. It was William James from Harvard's advice. He said it's the actor's technique. Act like the person you want to become.
Ask, believe, receive. So many people overlook this very simple quality. You don't have to figure it out. That's what freezes people. When you're trying to figure out your life all the way to the end, when you can't figure it out, it freezes you from trying it because you go, oh, well, I can't figure that out. Oh, I can't go over there because I don't know how. You don't have to know how. You have to ask, believe, and receive. That's as simple as it gets, Hope.
This is the truth. If you can see it here, you can hold it here. Yep, you can entertain the idea, you can cause it to move into form because you are in harmony or can be in harmony with the laws that govern your being.
Thoughts are like drops of water. If you drop a drop of water on the table here, and it doesn't mean much, but if you keep dropping and keep dropping and keep dropping, the table becomes a wash, and then you get a puddle on the floor, and then you can get a little pond and a lake, and finally you can create an ocean. And with our own thoughts, we can drown in a sea of negativity, or we can float on the ocean of light. And it's up to us. The thoughts we think accumulate. And what sort of puddles are you standing in? Or are you up to here? Or are you up to here and trying to paddle? When we're willing to change our thinking, we can change our experiences.
My name is Jordan Belfort. That's right. I'm a former member of the middle class, raised by two accountants in a tiny apartment in Bayside, Queens. The year I turned 26 as the head of my own brokerage firm, I made $49 million.
All the experts are agreed that in each of us, there are deep reservoirs of ability, even genius, that we habitually fail to use.
You have perception, the will, memory, intuition, reason, and imagination. These marvelous tools. We can take our imagination and build an image in our mind of how we want to live. Block out what's going now. Don't let your present results have anything to do with this. Just what you want. And it's with your imagination that you will build it. Everything that we have, the camera that I'm speaking to right now, was first created in the mind of one individual. You already have within all that's required to attract literally whatever you want into your life. You can see it in your head. You can hold it in your hand because that is the frequency. Match the frequency of the good you desire. If you hold the dream in your mind and you don't let the outside world control you, you will attract everything that you need, and that space will fill in. The way will be shown.
You have got to start expecting great things to happen for you in order for it to happen. It is the law of attraction. It is real. It is nothing fake about it. The Bible says a man is as he thinketh. If you live your life in expectations, that's what happens to you. If you live your life in despair, that's what happens to you. If you say all men are dogs, you're going to meet every last one of them. I'll never be rich, you won't. The moment you change the frequency that your tower emits, different things come back to you.
The imagination is the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful force the world has ever known. Now, the imagination is the mental faculty out of which visions arise. Visions. Pictures that we build in our mind. Most people don't use their imagination constructively. Most people use their imagination destructively. They imagine what they don't want. We've got to consciously and deliberately imagine what we do want. If we will take and sit down with a pen and ask ourselves, what do I really want? And write it down. And then make a written description of it in the present tense. Writing causes thinking. Thinking creates an image. And you get these images going, you're building a vision in your mind. It's the visionaries that's changed the world. Think of that. The fact that I can sit and look into this camera, and you can sit and look at me on your phone, or on your TV, or on your laptop. That was the result of somebody's vision.
The most important thing in the world is what you believe about yourself. That's the most important thing. Your entire experience is fabricated out of what you believe about yourself. You know, I used to get down on my knees and pray all those nice little Sunday school prayers for years, trying to get a God in the sky to do something for me. And I didn't get very much until I learned that God wasn't working for me from up in the sky, but God is working for me from within my very own mind. And the verse of Scripture brings this out. Be you transformed how? By the renewing of your mind.
Now, the estimates by the experts in this field are that most of us are using somewhere around 5% of our real potential. Some experts say as little as 1%. It means that we're only giving about.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe even your mind. Go all the way. It could mean not eating for 3 to 4 days. It can mean freezing on a park bench. It can mean jail. It can mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance or how much you really want to do it, and you will do it, despite rejection and the worst odds. And it will be better than anything you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. How badly do you want what you want? How badly do you want it? Or do you want it at all? You see, there's an awful lot of people who want an awful lot of things. But how badly do they want it? If you want it so badly, if you want it with tremendous intensity of desire, there's really nothing in the world that can stop you from getting it. Everybody says they want it, but how bad do you want it? Do you want it bad enough to work when no one's watching? Bad enough to keep going after the 5th failure, after the 30th? Because if you quit, your future is easy to predict. If you don't quit, no one can predict it. Excuses show up when hunger disappears. Real hunger creates urgency. Urgency doesn't wait for tomorrow. What did you do to achieve your dream today? Hunger Hunger doesn't belong to the smartest. It doesn't belong to the most talented. It belongs to the hungriest. Hunger doesn't care about odds. Hunger doesn't care about facts. Hunger doesn't care about who says no. When you're hungry, failure isn't fatal. It's feedback. Hunger keeps you moving when fear says stop, and comfort makes you settle. But hunger is unstoppable. If you give up after the first time, or the 5th time, or the 30th time, this just means you didn't want it badly enough. A made-up mind doesn't negotiate with doubt. It doesn't ask permission. It doesn't stop believing because it's taking too long. If I have to believe my whole life, I will not take no for an answer. I will not settle for mediocrity. That's what relentlessness looks like. There's a level of desire where logic simply disappears. Like when you're underwater and the only thing that matters is air. That's how bad you have to want it. Not casually, not when it's convenient, but with the same intensity you need oxygen. When desire hits that level, you don't need motivation. You don't need permission. You will find a way. If you want to be ordinary, live normally. But if you want to be extraordinary, you have to be extra. Extra effort, extra discipline, extra sacrifice. Extra when you're tired, extra when you're bored, extra when no one's clapping. Ordinary plus extra is extraordinary. Most people start and most people quit too soon. If you just don't stop, you eventually win. That's the secret. Not because you're special, but because you stayed. You don't need to restart your dream. You don't need a new plan every 2 years. You just need to keep going. When the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of making it change, people change. Spend time with people in their 80s and 90s. You will never hear regret of failing. You will always hear regret of not trying. Why didn't I go for it? Why didn't I risk more? Why did I listen to fear? Being laughed at is temporary. Regret is permanent. So choose wisely. There comes a day, and everyone will have this day. You see people with less talent than you passing you by. You feel time slipping and something snaps. You're done settling, done waiting, done playing small. That thing inside you has always been there. It's just waiting for you to commit. Some people see what they want. Others only see what's in their way. Same situation, different focus. You don't have to do it like everyone else. You don't have to wait in line. When you want something badly enough, you stop noticing obstacles and start noticing opportunities. See the bagel, not the line. The thing about it that people don't realize is you are so much closer to your breakthrough than you realize. You are so much closer to that body that you want than you realize. You are so much closer to that business that you want than you realize. Just keep going. One of the most beautiful things about life is that most people start, but most people give up too soon. You wonder, why is that beautiful? Because it shows you, if you just don't stop, you will eventually get to where you want to go. See, most people, that's the problem. They just kind of want it. They think about it. They complain about it, but they don't really want it. And they're like, why can't I succeed? Just keep going. That's all you gotta do. Eventually you'll figure it out. Exactly how to succeed at the thing that you want. It's that simple. There are days you're not going to want to do it. Sure, and everybody has those days. But it's what you do on those days that help you move forward. When you stop what you're doing and you go for this thing. You know, there comes this day, everyone is going to have this day. There comes a day where being average, being mediocre is just sickening to you. It makes you want to throw up because you've seen people with far less talent than you as you're growing up with them. They're childhood buddies. They didn't have what you had, yet now they're becoming something that you haven't. There comes a day where push comes to shove, where being mediocre just burns. It sucks so much. You can't deal with it one more day. You get off your ass, you create something. It's always been there. It's always been inside of you, trying to come out. You can work to get anything you want, but you have to sacrifice the other things to keep it. And that's sometimes harder than the work itself. And that's the issue. We just don't want it badly enough. This comeback is personal. It's an apology for yourself.
I wasn't strong enough to save you, Mom. But I promise I won't fail again.
You got heart, kid. I seriously think you ought to consider hanging it up.
I'm begging you here, Lou. Give me another shot.
Oh, but I am back. Back from under the ground.
Let me just ask you this, Mr. Risk Taker. What's the bigger risk? Carrying on like you're going, and it's going well? Or taking the deeper dive?
Are you tired of the label of the one who talks about all the things he's gonna do, but don't do it? The one who tells everybody he's gonna do it by the end of the year, but never completes it? Are you tired of that label? Do something about it.
But I want you to take it personal. And my personal question to you is, why not you?
You just don't know how to give up.
No, I do.
Trust me, I do. I know exactly how to give up. You know what scares the shit out of me, kid? Is that it's easy.
You're old and you're broken. You're out there boxing. I need you to start fighting. Let go of the fear. Let go of the guilt. Let go of whatever was and walk into what is.
I don't want to need help. I don't need you. That's what it was. That's what it is. Somewhere a long time ago, I needed somebody and they didn't do it. And so I decided at that point, I guess, I don't need you. The only person I need is me.
And I was like, time to become a man. Walk forward, peripheral vision. Get it. Own yourself. Walk forward with more courage and start becoming the man you want to be instead of acting like it and putting it off.
Only when the why is strong enough, the how stops being an excuse, because purpose doesn't need permission. Nietzsche said, he who has a why to live can bear almost any how. So how far can your why take you?
You're good, but you're not as good as those guys. You know, I had to listen to all this, and that put so much wood on that fire that it kept me each and every day. You look for any kind of messages that people may say or do to get you motivated to play the highest level.
So now you gotta ask yourself, are you here to prove something to other people or prove something to yourself?
One day you'll wake up and realize the potential you had, knowing you've chosen comfort over effort. And you realize there's no one to blame but yourself. As long as you're breathing, you have the opportunity to change it around. The only pain worse than failure is in the regret of never trying.
That hurt, you know? And I think that flipped this switch in me where I was like, okay, fuck you, watch this.
So many people might have been able to do so many awesome things if they could really do what they wanted to do instead of just, you know, following the beaten path.
Bro, if you're succeeding at a life that you hate, imagine how great you'd be at one that you actually enjoyed.
You can't control the outcome all the time, right? Like, the ball's gonna bounce the other team's way. Like, it shouldn't always go your way. So you get motivated by the losses, you stay motivated through the winning. What you can control is your process. You can control those intangibles. You can control the work ethic, the consistent discipline, your attitude, your culture, how much you care. All those things are in you. They just need to be drawn out of you.
If your goal is worthy of you, you're going to fall on your face over and over and over again. It's going to cost you money, it's going to cost you time, it's going to cost you anxiety. As a matter of fact, if you're not laying in bed at night, staring at the ceiling with your heart pounding, at least 3 nights a week, you're probably not trying hard enough.
Called him at 7:36 p.m. I remember the number. Hey, Pop. Hey, what's up, monkey man? So listen, can I talk to you about something? Sure. I said, Dad, I don't want to go to law school anymore. I want to go to film school. A little bead of sweat starts to go down the back of my neck. I'm like, here it comes. You want what? I thought he was going to go into other stuff about, like, my ass. You think I'm paying for that? You know, that can be a hobby, but you know, that's not a real job. I thought all this was coming. And after about a 5-second pause, he goes, I hear this. Well, you sure that's what you want to do? Yes, sir. Another long pause. Then I hear, well, don't half-ass it.
Take that risk. Because when it feels scary to jump, that is exactly where you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life.
If you don't change what you're doing and how you do it, nothing else will change.
Can you promise me one thing? Promise me for the next 6 months, you will give it your all. No laziness, no excuses, just pure effort. Because truth be told, that's all you've been missing.
You want to be that one motherfucker that every day, whether it's raining, snowing, sleeting, you lost every dime, your mom died, your dad died, You come and you bring the energy that it takes to make a team function at the highest fucking level every day. And that's the person you want to be every day of your life.
You're never completing anything. You never finish nothing. So the thing that you think you're focusing on, you keep quitting to start something else that you think is the idea, and it's just a cycle. It's a cycle.
If you risk nothing, you become nothing. You are nothing. Because nothing ventured. Nothing is gained. You're not going to get what you want by never risking what you have.
Your future hasn't been written yet. No one's has. Your future is whatever you make it. So make it a good one.
Oh, you make it sound so easy. I wish I wasn't so scared. George, there's nothing to be scared of. All it takes is a little self-confidence. You know, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
The reality is, the more risk you take, the luckier you get.
You know, sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage.
The person you have to spend the most time listening to in your life is yourself. Try not to lose their respect.
So that's the biggest thing. Never forget your goals. Many dreams die while suffering. Don't be one of those people whose dreams die while you're suffering.
Imagine that you're in a movie, and imagine the movie begins now, and you're the hero of the movie.
Yeah.
What would that guy do?
Yeah.
What would that guy do right now?
You don't know about real loss, because that only occurs when you love something more than you love yourself.
You cannot change your life unless you change something.
If you don't have confidence, build evidence. If you don't have evidence, build skill. If you don't have skill, build discipline. If you don't have discipline, build accountability. And if you don't have accountability, change your environment.
In order for something new to come, something old must go. Something in you has to wake up. And usually the only person that can wake you up is you. Nobody else at that moment has the power to change you. If you always do what you always did, you will always get what you always got. Have you ever noticed how starting is the hardest part of literally anything? Like you're staring at a blank page. You're sitting in the car, outside the gym. You've got this idea in your head that feels huge, and somehow you still don't move. And it's weird, right? Because it is not because you don't want it. You do. So why does the first step feel so heavy? The truth is, starting anything, whether it's a fitness journey, a creative project, or a business idea, it feels exhausting because of one thing: resistance. You're always afraid to take the first step because all you see is every negative thing 10 miles down the road. But you can do anything you want. You are bound by nothing. What are you passionate about? What do you want? It's an interesting paradox that the energy it requires to start doing something is way more than the energy it requires to continue doing the thing. And at the beginning of doing anything results in the lowest amount of reward, internal and external, than when you've been doing it for ages.
I wanted to run out of that tunnel for my dad, to prove to everyone that I worked.
What?
That I was somebody.
Oh, you are so full of crap. In this lifetime, you don't have to prove nothing to nobody except yourself. And after what you've gone through, if you haven't done that by now, it ain't gonna never happen.
I was born in Jamaica with nothing. I live in a wooden shed, zinc roof. They all doubted me, so I couldn't do it. They all said I couldn't do it. Look at me now. Living there.
When your friends start to say, you've changed, remember, it's because they don't know how to say, you've grown.
I broke you. How have you come back?
You have to believe it's possible. Confucius had a great saying that, every man has two lives. And the second starts when he realizes he has just one.
Every single study in peak performance, high achievement, and so on comes back to this very simple equation. this very simple factor is that your life only begins to become great when you fix upon a major definite purpose. One goal, one mission, one goal that is bigger than any other single goal in your life.
I see all this potential, and I see squandering. God damn it, an entire generation pumping gas, waiting tables, slaves with white collars. Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need. We're the middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no Great War, no Great Depression. Our Great War is a spiritual war. Our Great Depression is our lives.
I've been listening to laughter all my career.
Yeah.
I've been listening to them laugh my whole career. They've been laughing. What? An Irishman win a Cage Warriors world title? Hell no. You serious? An Irishman? An Irishman win a fight in the UFC? Hell no. Laugh. Laughter all around at the Joker. Then the Joker goes and wins the world title. Now he wants to win a second world title. More laughter. Listen, the sound of laughter and the sound of doubt motivates me, so.
Oh, surprise, surprise, motherfucker! The king is back!
I'm nervous for I'm going to go speak or something. I got a little thing in my wallet. You're going to die one day, McConaughey. And I'm like, oh, that relaxes me. If I'm going in, complacent, I got another note, or tell myself, what you're about to say and do will outlive you. So you better fucking do it well.
Everything about it is self-discipline. Everything about it is no one's going to save you. No one's going to come out of the woods and say, hey, I got your back, man. Some people get that, but very few of us do. The only person coming to save you is yourself.
It was time for me. I didn't want to keep forgiving myself on Sunday and then repeat and do the same shit again Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and then go, oh, now I can be forgiven. I was like, no, man. Forgive me, Father. I know what I'm doing, and I'm keep doing it. Cut the shit, McConaughey. Quit giving yourself that out, that parachute, even though you may have it, even though word says grace of God will forgive you. Yeah, I need to strong arm myself, put my damn hands on the wheel, look in the mirror and go, it's on you.
The most important question that you have to ask yourself in life is how badly do you want what you want? How badly do you want it? Or do you want it at all? You see, there's an awful lot of people who want an awful lot of things. But how badly do they want it? If you want it so badly, if you want it with tremendous intensity of desire, there's really nothing in the world that can stop you from getting it. There's an interesting story was told about Socrates, and Socrates was talking to one of his students, and the student said, I am hungry for knowledge. What can I do to increase my knowledge? And Socrates said, knowledge is something that is readily available and easy to get if you want it bad enough. He said, I'm sure I want it badly enough. And Socrates said, come with me. And he walked him offshore into the ocean and walked him offshore into the Aegean Sea. And they got about 3 or 4 feet. And Socrates, a very, very strong man, grabbed the young man and put his head under the water. And the young man began to struggle and struggle and struggle and finally became incredibly frantic and finally brought him up. And he said, now, what did you want while you were under the water? And he said, all I wanted was air. He said, all I could think of in the whole world was air. He said, when you want knowledge with the same intensity that you wanted that oxygen, you will get all the knowledge that you could desire. And when you want anything with great intensity, if you have the desire, you'll get it.
And what I have found, when you take that kind of action, that kind of step of following your gut and your intuition, taking that step, whatever it is, the universe has a funny way of meeting you halfway.
You've got this great line where you say so many people are obsessed with how to live longer instead of how to live better.
Yeah.
How do you come to think about that?
I'm for it, the longevity. I'm for it. But in the pursuit of it, are we measuring quality of life along the way? Some people aren't. And I personally don't want to have the highest number, but then go, oh, that wasn't any fun, or I didn't enjoy that, or that sucked.
The reason why people don't write down their goals is because of the fear of failure. Is they don't want to make a commitment to it. You see, if you never write it down, then nobody can ever tell you that you didn't accomplish it. If you don't write it down, well, then you're not really locked into anything. You keep your options open if you like. and you go on to fail and underachieve.
Like say it's, life's a mystery going forward, the science looking back. When you look back, we can all connect every single dot. It's mathematical, scientific how we got to this table right here. We got plans for this afternoon, but we're not sure what's going to happen. But everything looking back, it's all connected if we go back and look at it. And there's a whole lot of, I thought that was the end. Well, it was the end, but it was the beginning of this thing. Or I caught that red light and therefore made me 60 seconds later to get to that cafe where I met that movie producer or that woman who became my wife or whatever that is. It don't make sense at the time, but boy, looking back, it's all a science.
I heard this quote the other day that I want to share with you guys. Now I'm paraphrasing here, but it goes like this, is the person who goes to the gym every single day, regardless of how they feel, will always beat the person who goes to the gym when they feel like going to the gym.
Hustle, hustle, hustle. Sleep was sin in my household. Sin. I saw my dad asleep one time in my life. There's a fierce sense of independence. 30 minutes of TV a night, max. Mom would always say, why are you going to watch someone doing something when you can go out in the world and do it yourself? Turn that damn thing off, get outside. You had to be outside. Like, get out in the world, go hustle, figure it out, be home at dark.
It's painful to understand how much of what you're doing isn't productive. So I'll give you an example. So I've done this a couple of times with classrooms full of students. Usually when I'm lecturing about career development, say, okay, how much time do you waste? So then I get the class to vote. How many of you waste 10 hours a day? It's like 10% of the kids will put up their hands. And it's interesting because I don't define what constitutes waste. I just ask the question. So they're diagnosing themselves, right? I'm not saying you're wasting 10 hours a day. I'm just asking. It's like, given your own attitude, how much time are you wasting? 10 hours a day. It's like 10% of the people put up their hands. Well, when you get to like 6 hours a day, 80% of the people put up their hands. It's like, okay, 6 hours a day. It's 42 hours a week. So let's call that a work week, 40 hours a week. So that's a work week. Let's say, what's your time worth? You're a university student. Well, it's certainly worth minimum wage, because obviously, but it's worth way more than that, because if you spend a productive hour when you're 20, then you gain the benefits of that hour for the rest of your life. So there's the compounding effect of time spent when you're young. So I say, well, let's assume your time's worth $50 an hour, which I think is an underestimate, but whatever, let's call it 50. We can call it 25, but we'll call it 50. If that's $2,000 a week you're wasting. It's $100,000 a year. It's like, how much better would your life be if you weren't wasting $100,000 a year? It's like, what is that over 40 years? $4 million. It's like, you're rich. You don't even know it. Don't waste your damn life. And then you think, well, why would people be resistant to that message? It's like, well, you really want to wake up and figure out that you're wasting half your life?
If you're nervous right now, it's because you didn't put the time in the past to make the moment today, or the present, forever. That's the only time you can be nervous right now. It's when you didn't do the work. You have an untrained ability colliding with an opportunity, and you're nervous because you might fail because you didn't put the work in.
Get up, move towards that challenge, whatever that challenge is. Move towards that challenge and go attack it. And you may be successful and you may not be successful, but you will be better.
It is astounding how many people want to be spectacular in life but also want to fit in and be normal. Like, by being normal, you are, by definition, aiming for average. Normal people get normal results. Weird people get weird results. You literally can't do what everyone else does and not expect to get what everyone else has. By doing what everyone else does, you guarantee average results.
Before you win, everyone will ask you, why are you working so hard? And after you win, everyone will remind you, you got lucky. You see, the thing is, first they doubt. Before the victory, your hard work will not make any sense to most people. They'll ask you, why on earth are you trying so hard? Why can't you relax? Why are you not normal? The truth is, they don't see the vision of life that you're chasing, and they don't have to. Your only job is to keep working, keep moving forwards, just proving to yourself that you can be better than yesterday.
Should have stopped this fight with your father. I'm stopping this one now.
Don't, okay? Let me finish. I gotta prove it.
Prove what?
I'm not a mistake.
No, you have to hit rock bottom. That's the way up. Yeah, rock bottom is beautiful. The struggle of coming back is beautiful. That struggle. It's hard. It doesn't appear like it's beautiful while you're going through it, but it's you're being tested. And without a test, there's no testimony. Life tests you. Sometimes life annihilates you. But it's only up to you if you want to take some more. It's going to dish it out. But eventually, if you don't quit, it'll be merciful to you.
I had a cameraman up there, and David was like, he was in his Goggins mode by that time. This was towards the end of the race. We had like 2 miles left. It's like 33 miles in. And I asked the cameraman up there, I'm like, hey, I said, how did Goggins look? And he's like, well, he had his shirt off, and it was cold rain. He's had his shirt off, and he was saying, they don't fucking know me. I'm like, who is he? He's like, they don't know me, son, and saying all this stuff. I said, who is he saying that to? And he's like, there's nobody up here.
So it's like imaginary. It's pushing the water, and there's a jogger actually. Look at this. Wow. It's a Florida man right there for you, Blake, jogging in the hurricane.
If you know one thing about human beings, if there could be one law about human behavior, and it's true, I suppose, of every animal, we avoid anything painful and we veer toward what is pleasurable or easy, okay? So how do you overcome that? That's your $1 million question that you're asking. Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom. Sometimes you have to go, nothing is working in my life. I'm miserable, I'm depressed, my career isn't going in the right way, okay? Maybe I'm the source of it. And when you hit rock bottom, you're willing to take anything, the pain of looking at yourself isn't maybe as bad as the hole that you've dug yourself into.
If you're gonna do it, do it. Say what you can do what you say. If you can't do it, don't say you can do it. Don't over leverage yourself. Don't over leverage a decision and then jump in and kind of dip a toe. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're gonna try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive. Finish it, find out. Come out the other side. Don't leave it and go, ooh, if I just would have, that keeps me up at night. I think it keeps a lot of us up at night. When you half-ass something and you just don't know whether you failed or succeeded, got what you want or didn't get what you want, finding out and looking in the mirror and going, I didn't half-ass it, I went all the way, I found out.
You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. It may even be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, how you can rely upon yourself, where you can pull yourself up from.
Hitting rock bottom is one of the best places to be if you handle it right. It feels like the end, but it's actually the beginning. The ego sees collapse as failure, but the truth is, rock bottom strips away everything you were clinging to for a sense of self. And in that emptiness, you have a choice. You can either grasp at the past or surrender to what's trying to emerge. The people who stay stuck are the ones who fight to rebuild the same ego that held on to the illusion of control. But the ones who rise are the ones who willingly let their ego die so they can be reborn. So rock bottom, it's not the end, it's actually the foundation.
They say the greatest achievement of somebody comes right after their worst defeat. When they've hit rock bottom, hit the bottom of the barrel, they got nothing left. Everyone's given up on them. They've lost all their worldly possessions. They're dead broke on their back. It's at that point, guys, when everything's lost, that everything can be gained. Do I want to stay on the bottom of this barrel or do I climb the fuck out of this hole?
Hey, guess what? It's going to be the hardest thing you ever did. Along the way, you're going to lose all your fucking friends. You're going to struggle. You're going to make mistakes. There's going to be multiple fucking days where you don't think that you're going to make it. And those days sometimes last for months. There's going to be, nobody's going to relate to you. No one's going to understand why you're doing it. Everybody's going to question it. They might laugh at you now. Everybody laughed at me back in the day. Fucking everybody. Guess who's laughing now? Not them, motherfucker. Me.
What the hell does fair have to do with it?
I got a big news flash for you, Tammy. Life isn't fair. You're going to have to scrape and claw for everything you want, just like the rest of us. But you haven't done one single thing to make it better. You know, you can't just bitch and moan and expect to change.
I will do the work when I'm tired. I will do the work even if I'm sick. I will do the work even if I didn't sleep well. I will do the work even if I don't feel like it. I will do the work if it's cold outside. I will do the work if it's too hot. I will do the work if no one else wants to do it with me, because I am driven by purpose.
I was not always this strong guy you see. I went through a lot of hard times in my life to get here today. All I wanted to be was an uncommon man. In my whole life, I was not that. I was 6'1" and 300 pounds. I walked in the recruiter's office and he looked at me and he said, "You're fat and you're black." He said, I basically had to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months. I came back 3 months later, 106 pounds lighter. Thank you.
Everything worthwhile is uphill. Period. End of story. If you want to succeed in life, it's difficult. It's not easy. It's not fast. It's not simple. It's uphill.
Everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you can go forward or you can give up. But the thing you have to keep in mind before you give up is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen.
When I said I wanted to win 8 gold medals, basically half the people in the swimming world thought I was absolutely crazy and nobody could ever do something like that. But for me, I was somebody who believed in it and somebody who believed in the process of getting there. I knew it wasn't going to happen overnight, like I said before, but every little small thing that we did was a small stepping stone, and the sky is the limit. And as a kid growing up, I believed that. I believed that whatever I put my mind to, and if I was willing to make sacrifices and I was dedicated, that I could achieve absolutely anything.
A blade does not become strong. It does not become tempered until it's been through the fire. Until it's been through the fire several times. And this is just your first or second time through the fire. And there's a lot of hammer work that has to take place. And then you're going to have to go back in the forge again. And it's hot, and it melts you down, and you're uncomfortable. And then life is going to pull you out, and it's going to put you on the anvil, and it's going to hammer on you some more. And you're going to say, what, am I done yet? Am I a sword for the ages? No, you're not. You're not done yet.
Rock bottom. Bottom isn't when you experience the worst moment of your life. Definitely. Bottom is when you change.
It's when you actually, it's when you touch it, when you smell it, when it's right on your face.
Yeah,
you feel it.
And
it's not about severity of what the thing is. It's about
it's about what you do with it once it happens.
The best men are those who've been broken by life and have pulled through, have come out the other end. Why? Because they've been forced by circumstances to drop the illusion of their strength and power. They've known that they couldn't keep that going.
You have to disappear. When I say disappear, you stop announcing every move and start building something that speaks for itself. Disappearing means doing the work. It means doing the work in the dark. It means building in private what you don't need to prove in public. It means doing the work when no one's watching. You stop worrying about what people think and start valuing what you believe. Because a life that looks good or sounds good is nothing compared to a life that feels good.
What else does it mean to have a champion mentality to you? I know that you talk about this a lot. Mm-hmm. What are the principles that you rely on for that?
Again, something that definitely elevated over time. There's more to this. And I think the biggest thing was, originally it was like just winning, and it evolved into just like a no quit mentality. It's accepting these fears I have, this doubt I have, this everything that goes through my mind, but regardless of that, not quitting and not giving up on myself. No matter how hard is the time or what I'm going through and whatever shit I feel, I'm gonna still put in the same work regardless of how I feel. And that's a champion mentality, because champion's not controlled by their outside circumstances. They control their own mind inside and how they act, and then the world goes on around them.
It's not about the dog that's in the fight. It's the fight within the dog. Well, yeah, it's a shitty situation. I gotta go to work because I gotta pay the bills and support my family. But you know, it doesn't mean I have to shortcut my success in what I'm doing. I'll find a way to work this out.
I started thinking like every day, I was like, I hope I don't wake up. You know what I mean? And that was the thing where I was like, this is a big enough problem that like, if you don't want to wake up, then I have nothing to lose. And that was when, if everybody who's like at the bottom and feels like they have nothing going for them, reframe that as I have nothing going for me, which also means that I have nothing to lose by taking action, it makes you a much more dangerous person.
It's the work that majority are not willing to do, but wanting the outcome that we have. And that's, again, once again, the gap. And it's the gap that makes them feel a certain way about life. They hate life, and they think they're at a disadvantage, and they're anxious about it. So then they begin to escape and soothe with drugs and alcohol, infidelity, pornography, gambling, whatever the source is. And I don't care. I can check off every fucking box. I can check off every one of those boxes. But if you do the work and you close that gap and time collapse, you will have that superpower and you can start living the life you're meant to live.
But he was saying that if you're an underdog, man, the beauty of being someone who has to go through struggle, the beauty, because you get that. If there's no struggle, there's no, that's the thing. If there's no struggle, then it's nothing. There's no journey. There's no journey. You know, you get to make that magic, man. You get to be the story.
To somebody at their lowest moment right now watching this video, what do you say to them?
There's only one way, one direction. If you're at the bottom, there's only one way, but you got to look up.
What will you do?
Rebuild it just the way it was, brick for brick.
Don't study the result. What was the person doing when they got there? And everybody who's achieved something great was some sort of outlaw. Yep. Some sort of hustler. Out of balance, out of whack, dark times. Whoa.
Extreme.
Still wakes up in the middle of the night and glad they wearing a mouth guard because they'd have chipped all their teeth with that fucking nightmare they were having about those things they did back then.
No wonder you're always going to be a servant here. No wonder. It's not until you say, fuck it. That might be how it's written. It ain't going to be the way it's going to go down, though, for me. You got to rewrite your own history in life, man. Stop listening to what everyone says is the way it is.
Discovering what I was capable of. You know, there's been so many times where I've been in a prep and I felt way too far behind to win. And I had an injury last year when I tore my lat, tore my bicep. I was in the hospital, like all these different things going on. And I'm like, there's no way that I can do this. Like, it's impossible. And if I were to ever ask myself in the past, like, do you think you could win or get through this and do this? I'd be like, no way, it's impossible. But I was in it and I did it and I accomplished it. And I was like, I'm capable of so much more than my mind understands. And I think that's just the greatest part of the journey that I've achieved, is like that understanding of what I'm capable of and that belief in myself to what I can accomplish.
There's a lot of men struggling right now. There's a lot of men, if you know, I talk about it a lot, that if you look at the stats around suicidality in the UK, the thing that's most likely to kill someone between the age of like 18 and 40 is themselves.
If there's a moment when every boy realizes no one's coming to save him, and that's when he becomes a man. And some boys never get there and stay children forever. No one's effing coming to save you. No one's going to make you better at your business. No one is going to get you to be a better persuader of people or framer of people other than you.
And a year from now, it's going to happen like that. And who is your future self? Another day will go by. 365 of them happen so fucking fast. Who are you going to be in a year from now? And in a year from now, does that future person hold regret or pride?
The difference is, how do you look at it? How do you approach it? How do you deal with it? How do you admit it and see it for what it is? And then what do you do about it? What do you do about it? You cry about it? You mope about it? You drink about it? You sleep around about it? You get mad and get in fights about it? You just hang around? Just turn the world out? Just zombie about it? Do you fry yourself with marijuana about it? Say, Dwayne, I'm sad. Dude, that's a part of life. You think you're the only man on this planet that's sad? Say, Dwayne, I'm going through depression. Well, welcome to the world. Welcome to the rest of us.
You only got one life, guys. Again, if you work it right, you only need one. If you give it all you have, you're gonna get max potential back. And then who knows what can come. That's the beautiful thing. If you don't show up, guys, you know the outcome. You'll never get the job, never get the part, never get the girl if you don't show up. If you show up, you put yourself in a situation to create those opportunities.
Change happens when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of making a change. Yeah. And in your situation now, it sounds like, well, this is less painful.
100%. I think that's the basis of most change. Either you have to have a reward that incentivizes you. It's the away towards or away. It's either we're going away from pain or going towards pleasure. And I think a lot of people are really looking for that passion that's going to be towards. But I think early days, and I talk a lot about this, but like, I think negative motivation is poo-pooed too much. Like, if you are angry, use it. If you are sad, use it. Because like, what else are you gonna do with it? Like, you might as well let it help you. Like, or it uses you.
This year is not just another page in your life. This is the chapter where everything changes. How long are you going to keep lying to yourself? How many more years are you going to tell the same damn story?
You know what I'm sick and tired of, Harry? I'm sick and tired of having to eke my way through life. Sick and tired of being a nobody.
So we don't stop. If we start something, we see it the entire way through. At the end of it, even if you don't like it to the highest level, you know that you put your time, energy into something that you're at least proud that you did, proud that you were able to put a period on that sentence.
You know, one of my favorite quotes from Zig Ziglar is, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.
You know, people get up every day, they do the same thing. They tell themselves they're gonna change their life one day, and they never do. I'm gonna change mine.
Like what father always told me, you don't need to work. You don't need to, just stay focused, train, and your time gonna come.
That's the fear. The fear is never reaching your potential. Always falling short. Always quitting before you're done. Always procrastinating. Always not doing the right thing. And then one day, you are an old man, and you look back and go, God, I could have been great. I could have been great.
Everybody gets one chance to do something great. Most people never take the chance, either because they're too scared or they don't recognize it when it spits on their shoes. This is your big chance, and you shouldn't let it go by.
Setting the bar unrealistically high does not increase your performance. Imagine this. Imagine that you went into a buffet and you made your plate as big as possible. You said, I want all of these things. I'm going to put all of this stuff on my plate. And my stomach is going to expand to be able to fit it. That's not the way that our stomachs work. And that is not the way that our workloads work. So, first rule, in order to pick something up, you have to put something down. Don't assume that just because you've loaded more onto your workload plate, your work capacity will expand to be able to fit it into your stomach. Like, that's not the way that it works. Make the assumption, I can do no more than I'm doing now. And in order to pick something up, I have to put something down. I can switch stuff, but I can't add more in.
I promise you, if you can actually go through 100 days of rejection, your life will change. Because you will realize that at the end of the 100 days, you're still alive and nothing changed.
So what's the decision going to be? Because I'm pretty sure you told yourself you were going to start on the first. And I'm pretty sure you told yourself again you were going to start on the second. And I'm pretty sure you told yourself you were going to start on the third. And I'm pretty sure you've done this year after year after year. So what is it going to be? Make the change that you need to make. Become the person you need to become. This isn't about losing 20 pounds or 30 pounds or 100 pounds. This is about becoming a person that can control their external environment and make decisions that serve them no matter how hard those decisions may be. No matter how inconvenient those decisions might be. That is the only way you're going to solve this problem long term. And you're still sitting on the bench thinking that you're going to fix this. Now is the time to fix it. So don't wait another day. Don't wait till Monday. Don't wait till another year where you're going to get fatter and broker and more miserable. Start today.
Here's the question. If you faced everything that was put in front of you, who would you be?
You can either live your dreams or live your fears. And I think the majority of people actually are not living their dreams, but are living their fears.
Before you win, everyone will ask why you're working so hard. And after you win, everyone will remind you how lucky you got.
All you have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to you. You won't get to choose how long you're here. You won't know how many sunrises you have left. You don't get to rewind, pause, or skip the hard chapters. All you get is now.
People only root for others at 2 times. First, when they're at the beginning of the race. Second, when they finish. Neither is when you need it. So, you have to master the middle. The boring, exhausting, soul-crushing middle. That's where the winning happens, on your own. People will only cheer for you as long as you can't beat them at the game they value most. Friendly reminder that every person who doubts you is right until they aren't.
Partying is weakness for the soul, my friend, so I try and avoid it.
They see I don't party, bro, I don't drink, I don't smoke, and they see that and they're like, bro, why? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, go have fun.
You are.
You feel what I'm saying? But I'm having fun, and I try to tell them, like, don't let me affect what you do,
I'm gonna be good regardless.
I'm gonna be good regardless, but I'm comfortable who I am.
Don't confuse movement with progress. Because you can run in place and not get anything done. So are you moving forward? You have a gift. It's called a gift. You didn't earn it. You were born with that gift. Now you own that gift. You develop that gift. You do everything you need to do to protect it.
You find a way. If you're obsessed with something enough, regardless of the conditions, and addicts are the perfect example. They can have no money, no resources, been locked up before. Everyone knows they're trying to get it. They could be in support me, but if they want that drug bad enough with no resources, no nothing, they find a way to get it. That's how humans are when they get obsessed with something. So don't tell me you can't win. Don't tell me you can't build your company. You can't get the person you want or the money you want. If you want it like an addict, bad analogy, but true. You want it like an addict needs their fix. You'll find a way to get it. That's how human beings are.
Because people think it's no big deal to hang out with idiots, but the problem is you're absorbing their energy. And instead of hanging out with really cool people and you absorb their energy and everybody like gets out of there feeling fucking great. What a good time. What a good time.
They just suck the energy.
They suck it and they make it about them and they get negative and they're fucking passive aggressive and weird or whatever it is. It's like, I don't want to deal with him anymore, man.
You eventually shed those people.
You should because they are energy. And I think how you feel personally, like how your life is going, has a giant effect on how your life can go because you're thinking in a positive way. You know, like you're in the right groove, you're in the right vibration.
One of the best things that you can do in 2026 is to let go of the fear of missing out. Because you're not missing out on anything when you're getting your life together. They are at the club, you are in the gym. They're hungover on a Sunday morning and you're working towards your goals and they think you're missing out. But if 5 years from now, they will still be doing the same damn thing and you will be living a life they have always dreamt of living. So just remember that when they try and pull you back in.
Well, it's that time of year again. We start to feel real happy. Why? Because we're not going to work.
It's a real good time of year. So in that good time of year, we start to feel real good about ourselves. So I start to feel great. So we start making promises to ourselves about, hey, I'm gonna lose some weight. I'm gonna do better in school. I'm gonna be better here, be better there. But guess what happens? The real Merry fucking Christmas happens when all of that noise is gone, it's quiet, and it's you against you, and now all those endorphins are gone. And I promise you, man, by getting up early and getting after it to go lose weight, study harder, guess what? It's a lot fucking harder now. That repetition becomes a lot harder now. So a lot of us can't do things on our own. So find somebody in your life, so when you throw that towel in, they throw that motherfucker back at you and say you're not done yet.
I was thinking about this the other day. The goal needs to be a free choice. And I don't mean a free choice of like someone's making you do it, but like if you were to think about it, your brain, like do you think your mind is free?
The hardest things bring the greatest rewards. Sometimes the easiest path isn't the one we're meant to take. Deep down, you know it, don't you? The things that are hard, the real sacrifices, they carry a weight, a feeling you can't shake. Choosing the harder path, the one nobody else wants, is where the journey toward greatness begins. Now, ask yourself, how many times have you turned away because something felt too tough? How often have you chosen comfort over challenge, avoided discomfort because the other path demanded more? But here's a truth few accept. The best things in life come at a price, and it's not paid in money or possessions. The cost is sweat, time, and sometimes tears. Greatness asks, what are you willing to sacrifice? Are you ready to step out of the ordinary and pay the price that greatness demands? Because this isn't about someone else's path, this is about blazing your own trail. It's hard. It feels like nobody understands, then you're probably doing something right. The hardest choices, the sacrifices that hurt the most, those are the ones that truly matter. So, are you ready to choose the path less taken? Are you willing to be more than what's expected?
Welcome every human experience. You never know which one is going to turn your life around. Even the bad experiences, sometimes from the bitterest experience comes the greatest awakening. The same wall that keeps out disappointment keeps out happiness. So let me ask you, why not you?
If you're prepared to give up comfort for something more, then you're already closer to achieving your dreams than you realize. Embracing sacrifice doesn't happen overnight. It's a habit, a mindset that takes time to build. You have to train yourself to see discomfort as part of the journey. Like an athlete trains their body, you have to train your mind to push through obstacles. Each time you push yourself a little further. Each time you choose discipline over convenience. You're building resilience.
And every morning you wake up, you hold yourself accountable to that mission, not a company's, your own. Make up your own mission statement. What do you want to be in life? And once you do that, now you can work with somebody to get better. You can work with yourself to get better. But until you know what you want to stand for, you will always just be sitting down. You'll never stand for anything.
What's that quote? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything.
That's it.
When you face the hard choice and push forward, you're building resilience. You're conditioning yourself to handle adversity. Each time you choose what's hard over what's easy, you're choosing growth over stagnation. And that's how you get stronger. That's how you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than anyone thought, including yourself. But why is it so tempting to avoid the hard road? Because comfort is seductive. Sacrifice is the fire that shapes you. And though it may burn, it transforms you into the person you need to become. True sacrifice means understanding that what you're giving up today is paving the way for something better tomorrow. It's an act of self-respect, an acknowledgement that your goals deserve nothing less than everything you have. When you're willing to sacrifice, to truly embrace discomfort, that's when you become unstoppable. That's when your potential is unlocked. Now let's bring it closer to home.
The single best question to work out what you should be doing next year. What would have to happen by the end of 2026 for me to look back on 2026 and consider it a success? I think that really helps to just give you a bit more perspective. And it usually comes down to only a few things. You don't usually have so much in your mind when you do that.
They call them growing pains for a reason. Growth comes from a deficiency between your current and desired, or your current and required. You need to be here and you're here, and that stretch hurts because you're inadequate. And this happens at all levels of business. Right when you think you're good again, the world proves to you that you're not as good as you think you are. When you have those plateaus, it's been a year, it's been 2 years, it's been 3 years, right? It means that you haven't changed. You've behaved the same, and so you're getting the same outputs. And the change is painful. And sometimes the painful change means that you actually have to take 2 steps back. And your ego not only has to get hurt, but hurt even more. Because you have to realize that you built your thing wrong. You hired the wrong leader. You have the wrong team culture within a department. What do? Well, you either leave it there and stay perpetually under your potential because you weren't willing to confront the difficulty of the inconveniences that are going to come to you as a result of making the changes that you know you need to make but aren't making.
I heard you say there's only one thing I dread, not to be worthy of my sufferings.
It's how you handle your sufferings. You know, when you're going through something really challenging, how do you show up within it? Do you choose to become a victim of complaining and misery and shitty, or do you find meaning in how you show up in the suffering, you know?
Don't condemn yourself for being afraid. It's perfectly fine to have some fears. You acknowledge your fears, you embrace those fears, and then you move on. You act on whatever it is that you fear. Because once you embrace it, see, what you resist will persist.
Think about your own life, your dreams, your goals. Are you really ready to sacrifice? Are you prepared to give up comfort? Let go of the things that hold you back and face the unknown to reach your potential. This isn't a question with an easy answer. Sacrifice isn't something you decide to do just once. It's a choice you make every day. It's waking up and choosing discipline over excuses. It's staying on your path, even when others turn back. So ask yourself, what are you willing to give up to reach your goals? What comfort, what distraction, what safety net are you ready to leave behind? The question isn't about what you want. It's about what you're willing to give up to make it happen. The path to greatness is long, and the cost is high. It's going to take everything you've got. Be honest with yourself. Success isn't reserved for the lucky or the privileged. It's for the resilient. The ones willing to push through the pain, face their fears, and go after what they want with everything they have. And if that's you, if you're truly ready to make the sacrifices, then start today. Start trading what's easy for what's meaningful. Remember, success is built on daily choices. It's not a single moment of bravery.
A lot of these brothers, when shit get difficult, they just go blow weed. They ain't got nothing invested. See, when you invest in something and you hustle and you work for something, you got a different type of attachment to it. You're gonna have a cold day in hell for somebody trying to take this from you. We live by this, we die by this. We don't surrender, we don't retreat. Every man must search his own.
Think of sacrifice as a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it gets. Just like an athlete trains their body to handle physical stress, you need to train your mind to welcome challenges. It's choosing the path that feels hard, because that's where growth happens. It's committing to your goals on the days you'd rather quit. Discipline is the foundation of sacrifice. Without it, the journey becomes scattered and the vision fades. But with discipline, each small action builds on the last. Every day you stay on track. You're investing in the person you want to become. Create routines that challenge you. Routines that push you beyond what's comfortable. Whether it's training, work, or learning something new, each small choice builds a foundation of sacrifice. And here's the truth. The pain doesn't necessarily get easier, but your ability to handle it grows. Sacrifice isn't about erasing pain. It's about training yourself to endure it. With each day, you'll find strength you didn't know you had. Each challenge you face, each decision you make to keep pushing forward, brings you closer to becoming the person capable of achieving greatness. The more you practice, the stronger you become. Because sacrifice, discipline, and resilience are the keys to unlocking the potential you have within. And each time you choose what's hard, you're moving one step closer to becoming who you're meant to be.
2026 will be an incredible year for you. 2026 will be a year of exponential and expeditious blessings. It will be the year that you become everything God predestined and ordained for you to be. I don't want to hear about your credit. I don't want to hear about your past. I don't want to hear about a failed relationship. Before this year is out, you need to give that stuff to God.
The fastest way to change your life is start making some real decisions. And I know it's hard initially. The other part is it's just that the more you make decisions, the more decision-making muscles you get.
For once in your life, have some ownership, some credibility behind your actions and your words. Mean what you say, do what you say. Follow through for something for one time in your life. One time, follow through on what you say. You will feel a high that you've never felt before. When you follow through on things in life, guys, you achieve the confidence, the mentality that anything's possible. When you've been blessed with that emotion, that feeling, that is the start, the spark plug, the igniter to the rest of your life success. It doesn't happen until you commit one time.
I will do the work when I'm tired. I will do the work even if I'm sick. I will do the work even if I didn't sleep well. I will do the work even if I don't feel like it. I will do the work if it's cold outside. I will do the work if it's too hot. I will do the work if no one else wants to do it with me, because I am driven by purpose.
I don't hate you, 2025, but you were a difficult year, full of challenges, ups and downs, changes and learning. You showed me that life can change in the blink of an eye, and told me to trust myself more. But above all, you made me understand that my health, whether physical, emotional, or mental, is what really matters. Not every question demands an immediate answer, and not every ending is a loss. You show me that there are moments when nothing moves because nothing can. So no, I don't hate you, but I won't forgive you either. At least not yet. You dragged me through truths I didn't want to face, through loss I wasn't ready to feel. You left me with wounds that haven't closed, with breaks that haven't settled into anything. I can understand. I don't see light pouring in. Not yet. You didn't come to fix me or redeem me. You came to strip away the illusion that life is anything but unpredictable, relentless, and brutally honest. You didn't rebuild me. You left me with the choice to do it myself. So thank you, 2025. You were not easy, but you were necessary.
Self-respect and self-esteem, I think, largely comes from having faith in your own word. So if you were to treat yourself like a friend you are responsible for helping, which is Peterson's advice, right? Let's say that every time you invited a friend out for lunch, they turned up late or didn't turn up at all, they didn't text back, they just kept not holding to their word. After a while, you wouldn't believe in them, you wouldn't be friends with them, and you'd stop inviting them out to lunch. You are that friend to yourself. How on earth do you think that you're going to be able to move mountains and get out of that relationship that you don't like and move countries or change career when you can't not hit snooze, even though last night you promised yourself that you weren't going to hit snooze? And it's how people that are able to do extraordinary things have been able to get there.
Tomorrow begins right now. You know, some people say there's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I've never heard of the day called someday. Someday I'll become something. Someday I'll start something. It's right now, guys. Today is the day. Someday arises into something tomorrow will bear the fruits of your labor. It must be that way. The dream that you feel, man, inside, the belief that can be, it must start with action today if tomorrow's ever going to have any bearing of light to it. They say dreams are things that, you know, that you see when you're sleeping. I say bullshit. I say dreams are things that keep you from sleeping because you can't wait to become it.
What kind of risk builds men?
Well, I think constantly trying to be in rooms you don't deserve to be in. Apply to schools you shouldn't get into. Apply to jobs you shouldn't get into or you shouldn't receive. Express friendship with men more impressive than you. Probably the most important thing for a young man is to surround yourself with, at least in the short term, men who you perceive as being higher character and more successful than you. You know that whole thing. You are the average of your 5 closest friends, so take risks. Go out.
You will never feel ready to do things that scare you.
you will never feel ready to take that leap.